All right, how we doing, YouTube? Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of life lessons and how we can learn from every situation we are in or we come across in life, whether that's a job, whether it be a good job, bad job. I'll talk some about things I learned from that, whether it be from sports or from your kids or from a family event or just a lot of different situations. You can always learn, and I think you should always be learning. Be a lifelong learner. Be someone who can take things away from a situation. Again, good and bad. Things that you are going to utilize, things that you're not going to utilize. And take those things, because even when you're reading books and things like that, you're not going to take everything. A lot of people just read to read. I read to learn things and to enjoy like fiction books. But I take a lot of lessons from those and things take from those and utilize them in life. It's the whole Bruce Lee quote where you take what's useful and use it and disregard what's not useful to you in your life. And things can change throughout life and through different situations as well. And even if it is a bad situation or a job you didn't enjoy, you can take things and learn from them. I have plenty of those. Like when I was working in commercial, so before I got into training and coaching, I was in sales and marketing for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years or whatever after college, and a ton of different jobs at YMCA, at commercial flooring companies, commercial roofing companies, and it was all just sitting behind a desk, talking on a phone, doing a bunch of crap that it was so boring, so dumb, and not rewarding, and not. I mean, it was, some of them were financially rewarding, yes, but I learned that money isn't everything. Yeah, money is great. Money provides freedom and can help happiness and allows you more time to do things. Which right now I don't have a lot of money, so it's nice having the money, but again, it's not all about the money, because when you just chase the money, and that's one thing I've learned through. I left a decent job, which was one of the sales jobs I actually didn't mind. I mean, there was good people I was working with. It was local, doing flooring, commercial flooring, and then chase the money to go back to a roofing company which I had been in before, which was to make at least twice as much money. But I knew I hated the people there because they weren't good people. But I did it anyway, just chasing the money. So that's one thing I learned. That's the thing you learn as you go. Don't always just chase the money solely. Yes, money is important. We need money, especially with the price of everything these days. But again, that's one thing. And even working at the roofing place, I learned how it was bad. I just didn't like it. I hated it. I dreaded every day to go to work. And that's another thing I learned. Don't always, again, that goes with the money. Don't just do the money, because if you dread going to work every day, that's not fun. That's just boring. And too many people go through life living that, hating their job, just miserable all the time, waiting until that clock hits 3, 4 o'clock, whenever you're done, and so you can go home. And then just wake up and do it all again. And that just get that monotonous, boring routine and just dreading and hating life. And that's no way to go through life. And you gotta enjoy and live the life that you really want, because you only have one. I mean, maybe there's karma, maybe you're reincarnated or whatever, but who really knows that? But again, you learn from even your bad situations. I learned how not to treat people, because people were treated like garbage there, and how not to lead. So again, take from those. And then even getting laid off from that job, going and doing an internship at ETS, where I was a intern for sports performance coaching. I learned things I learned from that. I learned that that's not how I want to run a business. I don't want to have a giant gym where people or kids just come in and they're not really coached. There was not a lot of coaching there. I try to do it personally just because I wanted to grow and interact with the kids, but most of it's 1, 2 coaches for 40, 50 kids, and that's not a way. It's kind of like even in teaching, where you have this classroom of 20 some kids, and it's tough to learn in that environment when you can't get more individualized one-on-one time. I'm not saying it's just one-on-one, but even smaller groups can help too, so the kids feel more attention and stuff like that. And I learned from ETS that's not how I want to coach. I also learned what I don't want to do is not lie about false advertising where it says, oh, you promote that you're getting individualized coaching when really you're not. A kid would finish their program and then they just tell the main guy and he just print off another the next phase in their training, and everything has to be so progressive. You have to do this in order to get to this next level, when that's not how coaching is. That's not how human beings move. So I learned a lot about how I want to coach. I learned that I enjoy working with kids. That's one thing I learned, that I love coaching and training there. So that was a good thing that I took away, even though it was all right. I mean, it got me in the door, but I didn't really like their way of coaching, their style, because I don't think it's very good. Honestly, it's just following this progression. And it's not. And they claim speed training, and it's not speed training. It's conditioning. I don't know. Maybe they've changed by now. That was 5 or so years ago. So hopefully they've changed. But I know they got a big thing. But again, it wasn't for me in that case of having a ton of people, having a big facility, having tons of people coming in at a time where it's just you can't actually coach. It's just more like wrangling a zookeeper, so to speak, where you just like let them go around and nothing's going on. Kids just come in and they get a piece of paper, don't really interact with anyone, and then they go do their thing. Where I like to be more interactive and actually watch and help and coach. And I guess a lot of my coaching is not hands-on. It's not yelling and screaming and dictating and telling you what to do. It's allowing the clients I work with to learn their body, learn how to move, learn how to figure out what's best for them, because there is no one way. It's whereas when it was there, everyone has to squat this way, everyone has to deadlift this way. We don't do these lifts, that type of thing. When everyone's different, everyone you come across is different. Everyone's gonna need different things. Yes, I have my own training styles, my own templates and stuff that I kind of fit together for each person. But again, and I have some programs that aren't individualized, but I tell you that I don't want to do false marketing, false advertisement, and I learned how not to do that. So you got to take the good and the bad and disregard what works for you, what doesn't for you, even if it wasn't a great situation. So always be learning, always learn lessons. And the best lessons you can learn, I think, from sports, honestly, just learning like teamwork, how to communicate with people, how to work hard, and how to be efficient with that. Because hard work anyone can work hard. Hard work is not that hard, honestly. It's you just work and work. But if your hard work is not getting results, if you're working hard at the stuff that doesn't get you any better, what good is hard work? So you got to be working hard at the right things. So you got to be smart in that way. You got to be showing up. That's part of it. And you learn that in sports. And you learn how to deal with failure and how to overcome those obstacles and push forward, even in a sports season, one team is happy at the end of the season. The other teams are not. Or if it's an individual sport, one player is happy at the end of the tennis tournament or a wrestling tournament or whatever. And so you learn to fail. You fail a lot, especially in baseball. If you fail 7 out of 10 times, you are a Hall of Fame hitter. So that's the crazy part about sports is you learn to deal with failure. But then a lot of people get into real life and they can't deal with failure, or they're afraid to fail. So they're afraid to start things like training. They're afraid to eat better because what if they fail? Who cares? Just get up, get back on it, and go forward. So you got to learn from these situations, good and bad. Learn through different coaches I've had. Learn how I don't want a coach and how some things I can take from other coaches that I've had that are good and some that are bad. how not to do things, how to do things. So again, always be analyzing and wary of these different situations of where you're at, and be aware of what's going on, and take these lessons and know them and utilize what's gonna work for you. Whether you're a coach, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a doctor, it's gonna help, and it's gonna help you move forward and progress. And it's really important, especially with your training, with your nutrition, is to learn from these things, learn from different people, learn from your own mistakes. And the best way to do it is just go through life and experiment and do different things and try out different things and see what works. But again, you can't just do something once. Oh, I had so I don't know, maybe so let's try to give an example here. Maybe like training. You're gonna train. I'm gonna do this squat today. I'm gonna back squat today, and you try it. Oh, I didn't get my results. I didn't gain 10 pounds of muscle. Well, duh. It's not gonna happen overnight. You have to do it and get deep in those trenches and ingrain yourself and learn and grow and do different things, different squats, different pushes, different pulls, different hinges and lunges and sprints and throws and all these different exercises, and find what works for you. Because the only way you can learn is really by doing and experimenting and going through it yourself. Yeah, you can watch all the videos and social media or whatever, but if you don't do it, you don't know if it's gonna work or not work. So again, that's one thing. But again, it's mainly important to keep learning. And again, whether it could be something stupid that you learn from, like that you're not even really thinking about of as just a random meeting with a person, or a birthday party, or just going on a field trip with your kids or something like that. You can always learn. Or maybe it's from a movie. I learn a lot of, like, people hate on, oh, everyone says, oh, you gotta read. Yeah, reading's great, but I get a lot of information from watching TV, from watching guys like Pat McAfee or the Dan Patrick Show, people that I look up to as business people who've done a lot of their things on their own. They've gone out on their own, away from the like Dan Patrick leaving ESPN and going out on his own and getting deals and starting his own show and building up his own team and that type of thing, or McAfee retiring early from the NFL and going into comedy and doing his own daily show, and now he's from YouTube to now on ESPN, and he's in the WWE and all this crazy stuff that he's done, going out taking a risk. And that's a big thing, is taking risks and doing and chasing what you want to do. Again, whether it's in your business life, starting an entrepreneurship, your training, your fitness, your health, your wellness, whatever, your finances, taking risks and following your heart, your gut, following those things, and not just sitting back and being stuck. Because I know I was stuck behind a desk. And yes, I'm behind a desk right now, but I can get up and go and do whatever I want and coach and train and go out for a walk here, or whatever it is. Whereas you're not taking from these situations and knowing what is going to help you and push you forward, and what's going to be useful in your life and in every situation you come across. You might not realize it in that time, in that very moment, but looking back, maybe you take a moment to reflect or look back, and it's like, oh yeah, I learned something from talking to that person, or that interaction with the cashier at the grocery store, or whatever, how they treated me made me feel really good, and like, oh, that's how I should probably treat people, things like that. And just learn these things, at lessons, and take you through your life. Because again, yes, at TAG we're about fitness and nutrition and getting stronger and getting faster and being healthier physically, but health is so much more than that. It's your whole well-being. It's being a good person. It's being happy in life. And a lot of people think, oh yeah, you can be happy and not healthy, but you're gonna be happier even if you are more healthy. And usually healthy means being lean and not overweight, and things like that. So learn from these different situations and take them into account and realize what you want to do and how you want to do it and how the person you want to be and the career you want to have and the health and fitness you want to have. So take from all these situations because you can utilize them in your training, in your health, and help push you forward. The lessons you learn, the mistakes you make, the jobs you had, you can learn from those, good and bad. The sports you've played, you can learn lessons from those good and bad experiences. The people you meet, good and bad experiences, you can take from all of those. The teachers you had, the coaches you had, the people in your life, you can take all these lessons you've learned from them, good and bad. The good examples, take the things that will help you, that can help you live your life, or the bad examples, take those things, and that's not how we want to act. That's not what we want to do in this situation. Those types of things, and in your own personal experiences as well. Oh, maybe this worked at this point in time for your training, so I'm gonna keep doing that because that's getting me forward. Oh, sprinting, that helps me feel good. Ooh, jumping, that makes me feel more powerful. Lifting weights, I'm getting bigger muscles, so I feel better, I look better, I'm confident. Keep doing those things that are working. Then disregard the things that aren't working. Get rid of those. Maybe they're not working at a certain time, and you can come back to them, or whatever it is. But always be learning, always be listening, always be watching and observing your surroundings, your environment, the people around you, the events in your life, the things you got going on, because you might be able to take something from that, good, bad, ugly, and apply it or get it out of your life so you know not to do that anymore if it's holding you back or pushing you back. So again, life lessons, kind of talk here, hopefully a little bit help and just get you thinking and acting. And again, not just thinking, because a lot of times we spend too much time thinking and not actually taking action and doing what we should be doing to move forward in our career, in your health, in your training, in your life, and actually doing what you want to do. Because most people just talk about it. They don't actually do stuff. Get in the trenches and do it. And take from each event, each thing that happens, each lesson or each event in life, and dig through and figure out what works, what doesn't work for you, and take those lessons. And always be a learner, but don't just learn. Take action on those things and utilize what is good and what is going to help you, and that will make that learning even more beneficial for your life. So that's what I have for you guys today, guys. Hopefully that helped. Again, take what worked for you from this video, use that in your life, and go unleash greatness. And we'll talk to you again soon.